Guys, have a look at that Premier League table, hey? Every time we've had an opportunity to go into the top four, we've absolutely messed it up. We have some really easy games and we can't win them. We have the most difficult game of the season, we win it, and we're in top four. Where's Liverpool? Wait a sec. Where's Liverpool? Anyone seen Liverpool? Didn't they win the league and spend like 500 million? Is Michael Carrick above Arne Slot? Is Man United in fourth? Wonder, could anyone see Liverpool? I can't. Fourth place, hey? Back-to-back wins. We had to wait nearly a year for back-to-back wins in the league under Ruben Amorim. And Carrick's done it first try against the two best teams in the league, first and second. Madness. Look, I don't want to get too carried away because it will be the most Manchester United thing ever to go and drop points to Fulham. It will be the most Manchester United thing ever to go and drop points to Fulham. I know this team. They step up for the big game. They downgrade. Don't get me wrong. And Fulham are in very good form and Fulham are beating Brighton. But wow, we've got to give Michael Carrick some credit. Now, obviously, 2 games, 2 wins. We look better going forward. We look better defensively. We definitely took our chances better versus Arsenal. But we've not won in the league at the Emirates since 2017. Since 2017 was our last league win at the Emirates. Arsenal have not lost a game at home all season. Every single game Arsenal had gone 1-0 up in this season, they had won. Not even a draw, won. Arsenal won 24 out of 24 games. They went 1-0 up in this season. Not even one draw. And we went and beat them when they went 1-0 up. The way we responded to going 1-0 down was fantastic. The way we responded to them getting a jammy equaliser from a set piece and making it 2-2 was fantastic. And you know what's mad is everyone wanted Man United to win yesterday because we were playing football. They were playing anti-football. They were playing set pieces, celebrating that. We went at them and we scored some beautiful goals. Arsenal have not conceded 3 goals in the league for 3+ years. We're the first team to score 3 goals past them in 3+ years. Worldies of goals. Beautiful football. We showed them how to play football. Pep Guardiola got rinsed by Michael Carrick. Manchester City got absolutely battered. Manchester United probably beat Man City 6-0 on another day if we took our chances. Versus Arsenal, we took our chances and we deservedly won that game. The 2 best teams in the league, first and second. The best team in the world in Arsenal that had not lost a home game all season. Manchester United outplayed them. Manchester United showed them how to play football. This is Manchester United. I have to wait once a season for back-to-back wins under Amorim, and Michael Carrick's done it first try. Thank you, Michael Carrick. Look, the rest of the season could go tits up. And the rest of the season could go badly. I still think we need a midfielder. I still think Fulham and Tottenham are very different games, and I think we will probably drop points at some point. But this moment, this week, you know what? Even in the midst of a bad season, to have moments like this, to have a week like this is just fantastic to have. It's just fantastic to have. I mean, Cunha's goal was phenomenal. And I'm just happy. And look, we have half a season to evaluate. You know, I'm not talking about bringing Carrick in right now. I think that would be ridiculous. You know, we need to see Fulham as a different type of test. But you've got to enjoy it. You know. Can we win our next 4 games? I mean, can we win the next 3 games so that guy can get a haircut? You know? I think, just enjoy it. Just enjoy this. We don't know if we're going to win our next game. So let's just enjoy this feeling while we have it. Alice, I wonder what Ruben Amorim is thinking this morning. Well, Ruben Amorim gaslit this fan base into saying that Cobby is not good enough. Ruben Amorim wanted INEOS to get rid of Cobby and bring in Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher stunk it up for Tottenham the last 2 games. Ruben Amorim seriously wanted this board to sell Cobby for 40 million and bring in Conor Gallagher for 35 million. You know, that's criminal, man. I'm glad they didn't do that. Now, most of the recruitment has been good under Ruben Amorim. Don't get me wrong. We got rid of Garnacho. We got rid of Højlund. We got rid of Onana. Mbumo's coming. Cunha's coming. Dorgu, Sesko, Lemons. But man, Ruben Amorim wanted Maino gone for Gallagher. Ruben Amorim played a back 5 and we conceded more shots on target in 1 game in Ruben Amorim's back 5 than we have in the last 2 games with a back 4 because Ruben Amorim ignored the midfield. My biggest problem with Ruben Amorim was he took Bruno, played him deeper next to Casemiro, wondered why the midfield got ran through, Completely ignored Kobbie Mainoo. Even though we had 5 defenders and 2 DMs, we still got ran for at times because he didn't think of the structure. He didn't make us more compact in the middle. Michael Carrick's come in with Steve Holland, made us more compact in the middle, and Arsenal's only chance of scoring was jammy set Bs and own goal. Arsenal created nothing in open play, and the one time they did create something in open play, Victor Gyökeres just acted like a centre-back for us and made a great clearance at the end. So, look, I don't want to slander Amorim too much because we might lose to Fulham, and it's only 2 games. But yeah, Amorim is probably sitting there thinking, because Amorim sat there making out that him winning back-to-back games was a huge achievement at Man United. Amorim said that the squad is not good enough. There's a lot of things Amorim said that haven't aged well. Thank you very much for the super chat. Eternity, he says, loved Cunha's goal, a thing of beauty. Cunha's goal was fantastic. I thought the Dorgu goal was great, but Cunha's goal was a different thing. And you know what? When he hit that, I just knew it was going to go in. I don't know why. But when he hit that, I was like, this is going in. I was like, this is going in the back of the net. And I want to talk in today's video, not just about the back-to-back wins, not just about Michael Carrick, but I want to talk about this rebuild. Because INEOS' signings are looking good. I give INEOS a lot of slander. I give INEOS a lot of slander. And at the end of the day, I think they need to go. I think the ownership needs to go. I think the Glazers need to go before anyone. But INEOS' signings are looking good. Dorgu's looking good. Sesko's been great since Amorim left. Cunha's looking great lately. And Boomer's looking great. Lamons has been fine. And we know what INEOS want to do next. And that is proven midfielders in Elliot Anderson and Carlos Baleba. We've seen that the INEOS signings have been a success. We've seen that these signings are looking good and that we've done well in recruitment. INEOS want Baleba and Anderson next. INEOS want to do the midfield next. And I'm just saying, look, you get Baleba Anderson in the top left winger. Title race, baby. Let's not get carried away, but title race, baby. Title race. I mean, I probably shouldn't get too carried away. Cunha is a brilliant striker with the ball. More goals should be coming for him. Amorim was a coward last time. I say his name. He should be arrested for coaching. I mean, the fact that we played our best 11, we had literally every player available versus a 10-man Everton side at home and we couldn't break them down was shambolic from Ruben Amorim. The fact that we couldn't beat Wolves at home was shambolic from Amorim. The fact that we were 1-up against West Ham when he parked the bus, we conceded, and then he brought on more defenders was shambolic from Ruben Amorim. I think if Ruben Amorim could have won those games, we're in a title race. But then Ruben Amorim might have not been sacked if he won those games, and then that means he probably would have lost to City and Arsenal. So things can be different. But as Alex said, really like Carrick's demeanour. Finally, someone professional without being aggressive or erratic. What I like about Michael Carrick is he's not blaming everything on the players. Ruben Amorim, every time he lost, just blamed everything on the players. And don't get me wrong, the players down-tooled at times. But Ruben Amorim came out slandering the youth. Oh, the reason I lost so many games last season is because I had to play Harry Amas and Kobbie Mainoo. Like, shut the F up, Ruben Amorim. He didn't actually say that, but when he was asked about the youth, he said that he played Harry Amas and Kobbie Mainoo last season and he didn't win many games. He didn't say it quite in that way, but we know what he was implying. Like, Ruben Amorim, went to Jason Wilcox, after Leeds, just a couple of weeks before he was sacked and said, I need a whole new starting 11 if this is going to work. Well, just beat the 2 best sides in the league with your starting 11. And look, some of Amorim's fans are saying, Amorim's got to get credit for Carrick winning these last 2 games because Amorim built this squad. But that's like saying Roy Hodgson should get credit for Glasner coming in and winning the FA Cup. Ruben Amorim has left Man United in a better place than when he took over it. There's no doubt in my mind about that. And I hate INEOS, and I don't like to give INEOS credit for things, but INEOS did that recruitment, not Amorim. Amorim played a part in getting rid of Garnacho, Højlund and Nana, but Benjamin Sesko got 2 goals in about 20 games under Amorim and got 3 goals in 2 games under Fletcher. Patrick Dorgu has looked better since Ruben Amorim has left. Matheus Cunha has looked better since Ruben Amorim has left. So to say, it's Ruben Amorim's the reason why Carrick won those games is crazy because Ruben Amorim's players are looking better under Michael Carrick and Darren Fletcher. Ruben Amorim, this was his squad. He had 14 months to work with and a couple of months to work with this season. These were his players. And another manager's come in and playing better with his players. So I think to say Ruben Amorim deserves credit for Carrick winning is crazy. Ruben Amorim has left Man United in a better place than when he took over the club. He dealt with injuries well and did some good things in recruitment. But Ruben Amorim will go down, I think, as the worst manager in Manchester United history. A 32% win rate, a 15th place finish. We were 5 points off the top 4 when Ruben Amorim took over from Ten Hag, and we finished 25 points off the top 4. Lost to Grimsby with his strongest starting 11. He played a strong squad. He got battered 3-0 by Man City, and Michael Carrick goes there and batters Man City about 7-0, but we only get a 2-0 win. Ruben Amorim cared more about his ego than the club. Ruben Amorim has been sacked 3 weeks ago, and he's not said a goodbye to his fans. There was fans online that wanted Kobbie Mainoo gone, that slandered any Man United fan that wanted Ruben Amorim out as toxic, and defended Ruben Amorim for their lives. There was fans that defended Ruben Amorim for their life, and fair play to you for backing the manager like that. You're more than welcome to have that opinion. But Ruben Amorim's not acknowledged those fans or said goodbye. Every manager's been sacked from Man United said a goodbye message or something like that. Ruben Amorim's not had a peep of him because he doesn't give a crap about Man United. Ruben Amorim doesn't give a crap about Man United. He gave a crap about his ego, and when it wasn't working, he was willing to throw everyone else under the bus rather than take accountability himself and admit that maybe he should change it up. Maybe he should change his tactics up. Maybe his midfield wasn't working because we play a back four. We have one less defender on the pitch, and we've conceded 2 shots on target in open play versus Arsenal and Man City. Just 2 shots on target in open play versus Arsenal and Man City. Just 2 in the last 2 games, despite playing with one less defender, because Michael Carrick adapted the midfield, and we now actually have a more compact midfield, whereas Ruben Amorim would continuously ignore the midfield. Ruben Amorim's system was crap. It was static. He had 14 months to change it, and he wouldn't do it. Amorim blamed every other player that was not Bruno. Amorim played Bruno out of position. Amorim played so many players out of position. And at the end of the day, there were some fans that defended Ruben Amorim for their lives, and I'm not going to criticise those fans because Michael Carrick might have a few bad games, and I think there is problems within the squad in the midfield. And obviously, we all know the bigger problem is those above Ruben Amorim. So I'm not going to criticise fans for defending Ruben Amorim, but Ruben Amorim did not acknowledge those fans that defended Ruben Amorim for their lives, those fans that turned on Kobbie Mainoo and the youth for Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim's not even given an appreciation statement to the fans. He doesn't give a crap about this club. He cared about his ego more than anything else. Thank you for the super chat again, Eternity. He said, I'm comfortable with Mbeumo leading the line in attack. The pressure is off Sesko as far as I'm concerned. Let him watch Brian and learn. I mean, I'm happy with that as long as Mbeumo's scoring. I think Sesko got three goals in 2 games before Carrick came in. So I would like to see a bit more of Sesko, but look, when Cunha's coming in and doing what Cunha's doing, when Mbeumo's doing what he's doing, and Sesko was in great form, it's difficult, but it's a good, difficult situation to be in, that we've got Sesko, Cunha and Mbeumo, and we're going, well, which one's going to play? Sesko, Cunha and Mbeumo, which one's going to play? Because Amorim made us feel like we had no squad depth. Under Ruben Amorim, I felt like we had no squad depth. I felt like we had no one to bring on because Ruben Amorim was always bringing on defenders, and now we've got, we can bring on Sesko and Cunha. But Ruben Amorim made me feel like we have no squad depth. It's mad. Alice, in the summer we should go for Anderson 100 mil, João Gomez 50 mil. I wouldn't say he's worth more than 40 mil, and still a 50 mil rather than using 200 million for 2 players. In my opinion, Elliot Anderson 80 mil, Baleba 75 mil, João Gomez 40 mil. In my opinion, that's the 3 I would go with. And to be fair, if we get Baleba and Anderson, we probably don't need João Gomez. We probably need a Bruno Guimaraes type player. Not that we would get Bruno Guimaraes, but we'd probably need more of a passer. What Man United need is 2 top midfielders, which for me would be Elliot Anderson and Baleba, and then one more expressive midfielder that may be cheaper, like a Musakitas, who could play more of a 6/ more of an 8. I think we need to get a player that's an out-and-out ball-playing 8 that's younger, like a Musakitas, and then maybe a Anderson, Baleba at 6. Ruben Amorim talked about suffering. Ruben Amorim said we had to suffer. I know. We had to. Ruben Amorim's looking like a knobhead right now, isn't he? Amorim couldn't handle it, simple as he was offering to publicly quit multiple times, even his first few months. Yeah. Amorim couldn't handle it. He was never going to quit because he wasn't going to get the payout. And he was smiling when he got sacked. And look, Ruben Amorim wasn't supported completely by those above him. They should have signed a Carlos Baleba alternative, don't get me wrong. But Ruben Amorim was shocking, and Ruben Amorim was stubborn. That was Ruben Amorim had 14 months to change a midfield that was not working, and he didn't. He played Bruno out of position. He ignored Kobbie Mainoo. He wanted to sell Mainoo for 40 million and spend 40 million on Conor Gallagher because he's an idiot. I think you're correct. I think Anderson is going to Man City, sadly. I think the only way we get Anderson is if we get Champions League and Pep leaves City, and Anderson might go, oh, actually, you know what? But I wanted to talk about recruitment because we're going to talk about Anderson and Baleba because that is what's next. It's been confirmed that United are going for Anderson and Baleba next. That's what's next for us, and that's good. Obviously, I'd like that now. That's not going to happen till the summer. But we have to give INEOS credit. Look, I want INEOS out and I want the Glazers out. and I want the people at the top of this club out. Because at the end of the day, Ruben Amorim was a failure. Ruben Amorim was awful. But the next manager could be a failure and awful like Ruben Amorim if they don't get the support they need. And I don't think the people at the top of the club give the manager the support they need. I think they gave Ruben Amorim some good signings, but they didn't do enough. The decision-making at the top of the club was horrific. But we have to give INEOS credit. INEOS, Bumo, Dorgu, Cunha, Lamans and Sesko, the 5 signings we've made under INEOS, all very important lately. All been very good lately. You know, I think for me, you have to look at the INEOS signings, the 5 signings they've made since they've come in the circuit. They've done quite well there. They've done quite well with those signings. Should they have given Ruben Amorim a midfielder? Yes. Should they have spent all that money on Ten Hag and, you know, and then, well, I mean, on Ten Hag to then sack him? Do you know what I mean? I mean, Delict's been a good signing. Mazraoui's been a good signing as well under INEOS. Who was the other one? Mazraoui. We signed Delict, Mazraoui. Agate wasn't great. Xerxes wasn't great. Who was the other one we signed? Euro's been good, but this season's dropped off. But the last 5 signings we made are looking good. They are, and you got to give INEOS credit. I mean, Ruben Amorim has a say in that as well. Ruben Amorim had a say in getting rid of Garnacho and bringing in this player and that player. As much as I like to slander INEOS, they have got the last 5 signings right, and they're going for Elliot Anderson and Baleba next. And as much as I like to, you know, slander them, they have got their last 5 signings right, and the fact that they're targeting Baleba and Anderson next, as a Man United fan, makes me more confident. I'm like, well, the last 5 signings are looking good, and the next 2 signings they want are looking on the right track. INEOS recruitment has been top-notch lately. Ever since that January window when Dorgu arrived, I really can't complain about the signings they've made. They've truly elevated us to a serious level. The next phase of the rebuild should be bringing in 2 elite midfielders in Elliot Anderson and Baleba, which is what they're looking to do. You know, Agate's been a failure. Xerxes just doesn't really suit what we're trying to do, and we've changed managers twice. But in general, the recruitment under INEOS has been a lot better than, you know, Murta's. Our last transfer winner before INEOS, we spent 55 million on Mason Mount with 1 year left on his contract. We spent 50 million on Arda and 72 million on Hoyland. So you have to give INEOS credit when you look at the 2 transfer windows we had before INEOS, where 85 million was spent on Anthony. When scouts told us to not spend 85 million on Anthony and go and get Elise for 35 million, they ignored the scouts and got 85 million, spent 85 million on Anthony. You know? Most of the signings have been good now, but now it's a different level. Need to take the next step. I agree. Give INEOS credit for what they deserve. No credit, they should leave our club. Look, I think INEOS should go. Before INEOS, I think the Glazers should go. I think the Glazers should go. I think INEOS should go. But we will give INEOS credit. They didn't sign a midfielder. They didn't help Ruben Amorim. And they don't deserve a lot of credit. But the signings they have made recently have been a lot better than the people that came in before. Give Amorim a world 11, he'd still do bad. I mean, Ruben Amorim went to Jason Wilcox just last month and said, if I'm going to succeed, I'm going to need a whole new starting 11. Apparently, in the argument that Ruben Amorim had with Jason Wilcox, he was screaming at Jason Wilcox, saying it's the players and that he needs a whole new 11. And Jason Wilcox is saying maybe play a back four, maybe a tapped. And Ruben Amorim's going, no, it doesn't matter what I do, it's the players. Well, Carrick's made some changes. He's addressed the midfield. He's gone to a back four, and we look better for it. So, you know, I think some of the players aren't good enough, and I think Ruben Amorim needed a midfielder, but Ruben Amorim's stubbornness cost him. He tried to blame he blamed everyone but himself. Rather than looking at himself and looking at his crappy system that wasn't working and looking at the fact that he's ignoring Maino despite the build-up issues we're having, and he's playing Bruno deeper despite being run through a midfield and Bruno being the best creator in the league, he was going, not me, not my system, it's the players. He should have adapted. Most of their signings have been good, but now it's a different level, needs to take a step up. As Alex said, I agree. We need to sack Amorim again, says Gaz. Big up everybody in the chat, big up everybody watching. Amorim was just out of his depth. I agree, he wasn't supported by those above him. That's why I never celebrated Amorim being sacked. I didn't like Amorim. I thought he was atrocious. I thought he was a failure. But I never celebrated Amorim being sacked because there's too many issues above Amorim that need to change. INEOS can make up from their mistakes, then things could get better. Imagine if Ruben Amorim was still there, no chances, we're fourth. I don't think Ruben Amorim beat City or Arsenal, to be honest. I think Ruben Amorim did all right against Arsenal at home in that game at the beginning of the season, but I don't think Ruben Amorim beat City or Arsenal. We've got to be balanced. We came 15th, so wasn't in a position of strength in the window. After Cunha and Mbeumo, he got a midfielder. After Cunha and Mbeumo, he got a midfielder but wanted a striker. They was going to sell Maino for him. What the hell? Honestly. Ahmad should stop interacting with fans. I loved Ahmad's tweets. He rattled Arsenal and I loved it. I love it when players have a bit of personality. I don't mind it when a player's a wind-up merchant and has a bit of a personality. Personally, myself, I loved that Ahmad was rattling the Arsenal fans. Go on, go rattle the Arsenal fans. Go wind them up, Ahmad. I liked that, people. I absolutely liked that. Michael Carrick. I'm going to say this a million times. I am enjoying myself this week. I am being shameless. I am saying all sorts of things. But realistically, we probably will drop points to Fulham. It's the most Man United thing ever. But Michael Carrick's impressed me. Michael Carrick has done a very good job at Man United. In his 5 games as interim manager, he beats Emery's Villarreal 2-0, 2-1 1 Chelsea, 3-2 versus Arteta's Arsenal, 2-0 versus Guardiola's City, and 3-2 versus Arteta's Arsenal again. What can I say? Michael Carrick's done very well, but it'll be interesting to see how he does in what I call a smaller game. Heaven was one of their signings whose value for money is looking like great business. I think that we need European football next season. I think the likes of Heaven and Euro aren't going to get a lot of minutes this season, but I think when we're in European football next season, they will. Arsenal fans deserve it. Yeah, exactly. I just loved how Ahmad was having a bit of banter. I loved it. I loved that banter. Amorim did get Cunha and Mbeumo, Sesko and Lamons this summer, and we still looked underwhelming. Yeah, I do think Amorim needed a midfielder, to be fair to him. I think we should have looked at a midfielder for Amorim. But Sesko's looked better since Amorim's left. Cunha's looked better since Amorim's left. Dorgu's looked better since Amorim's left, which is mad to think because they were his players. Keep Dorgu on the left wing and get a new left back. I'm thinking what Man United need to do is to sign a left back. I think we need to sign Anderson, Baleba, a left back, a left wing, and then a third more attacking-minded young midfielder for depth. Maybe you look at a centre-back, particularly if Maguire goes. If Maguire stays, you've got De Ligt, Maguire, Leacher, Heaven and Euro to cover 4 centre-back roles. So I think if Maguire stays and signs a new contract, we probably don't need another centre-back. Man United got rid of Amorim at the right time. I mean, I would have got rid of him after Grimsby, to be honest. I think that was so embarrassing. But I understand why they didn't get rid of him after Grimsby. We're only a few games into the season and he had just had all this money spent on him. The mad thing is they wouldn't have got rid of Ruben Amorim. The mad thing is they would not have got rid of Ruben Amorim unless he didn't call them out. If Ruben Amorim didn't call out Jason Wilcox, he would still be here. If Ruben Amorim would still be at Man United if he didn't fall out Wilcox and if he didn't call them out in the press conference, meaning we could have lost the last 2 games and been in head loss right now. Alice, are you enjoying the Arsenal head loss? I am. I was watching Match of the Day. I was watching AFTV. I was enjoying it. If Man United get 2 out of Wharton, Anderson and Baleba, I generally think we could be in a title race next season. I think if we can get 2 out of Wharton, Anderson, Baleba, that would be fantastic. I still think we need a left back or a left winger. But look, Maguire stays, you've got the 5 centre-back options. You've got Managerial and Dillo at right back. You've got Luke Shaw and the new left back coming in at left back. You bring in those 2 midfielders and you bring in a proper left winger, then maybe. But I don't want to get carried away. Let's see what we do versus Fulham. Ruben Amorim said a midfield duo of Casemiro and Maino would not work in the Premier League. Yet they've won 2 games in a row. I mean, a lot of what Ruben Amorim is saying hasn't aged well, to be honest. It's not aged well. The treatment of Maino is nuts. The treatment of Maino is nuts. But look, Ruben Amorim wanted Baleba, he didn't get Baleba. What Carrick's done so well is he's got us very defensively compact, but I feel like we're more dangerous. I agree. I said this versus Arsenal. We might not have a lot of the ball. We might sit off. We might look a little bit defensive at times, but he's made us more dangerous going forward. I like Kvaratskhelia. He's dropped off a bit this season, hasn't he? After Liverpool's massive spend, if they don't get Europe, they could be screwed. Their net spend isn't that big, but look, Liverpool don't get Europe, that's embarrassing. The fact that they're doing nothing in January is a disgrace from them. Alice is a lot of Man United fan. Alice, please tell me what you've heard. Please tell me what I've heard that we want Ndidi. We've been offered Ndidi a million times. Ndidi's agent is trying to get him moved to Man United, but I don't think we want Ndidi. To be honest, Ruben Amorim literally would do well at Tottenham. Like he'd love Palhinha and he'd love Gallagher. Kvara's unrealistic. I think left wing should be a priority. 2 midfielders have got to be number 1 and 2. Left wing, then left back, then third midfielder. I think they're the 5 priorities. Natural passing patterns, more initiative than trying to get head around Amorim puzzles. I have to say, under Amorim, there was so much backwards, sideways passing. Today, we didn't have much of the ball, but when we had the ball, we were passing forward. We were playing with intensity to attack. We need all 3 centre mids, Wharton, Baleba, Anderson. And then get Hole on Nuno Mendes left back. Left wing, if not elite needle mover, I'm happy to move Dorgu there. Look, Lewis Hall would be unbelievable, but he is a Newcastle fan. He's Newcastle through and through. I don't see him leaving Newcastle unless they look like they're going to get relegated or something. For me, Baleba, Anderson, Lewis Hall, Bruno Guimaraes, and an elite left winger like... I don't even know. There's not many elite left wingers out there, to be honest. Can't even think. Rodrigo of Madrid would be insane, but that's never going to happen. Bruno Guimaraes is not going to come to Man United. Lewis Hall's not going to come to Man United. Rodrigo's not going to come to Man United. But I think we could get 2 of Anderson, Baleba, Wharton, which is what we plan to do next. You know, we're back-to-back wins. We're back in the top 4. And the hierarchy, look, as much as I like to slander them, they're looking in the right place. Man United's hierarchy have 3 midfield targets: Baleba, Wharton, Anderson. Wharton and Baleba would be most likely as a growing belief Anderson's going to snub us for City. I'm happy with that. We know this. We've been told this a million times. We're going for these midfielders. But this is happening now. We've won back-to-back games. Things are looking up. We're probably not going to do anything in January, which is really frustrating. But in the summer, we're going to go for that midfield, and we're going to go big in midfield. And we're seeing the start of what we could do. Carrick has come in and he's got us looking very good in these last 2 games, got us looking like a team in these last few games. And I'm thinking if we can get that left winger, and we can get that midfielder, and we can get this player and that player, maybe this is the start of something. But it's only 2 games, and it's difficult not to get carried away, but it is only 2 games. Michael Carrick, I don't know if he'll get the job permanently. We're not going to have that conversation until April. I think it's silly to have this conversation this early. But he seems to be doing a good job. Man United's academy stars and parents are delighted by the replacement of Ruben Amorim with Michael Carrick. In December, the Portuguese boss hit out at the United wannabes, including striker Chido Obi and Harry Amas, saying there's a feeling of entitlement we have in our club, which was a mad thing to say as Man United manager. The source said Carrick has been a regular at the training ground following the progress of his son. He is a lovely, welcoming guy who's always had time for everyone. Parents were appalled by Amorim's comments. Amorim is Man United manager. Those comments he made about the youth were a disgrace. They were an absolute disgrace. Amorim applied for internship at Carrick. Alice, I can't stop liking the Amorim slander tweets. Oh my. The Amorim slander today is crazy, but I don't want to get too carried away because I'm not that confident we beat Fulham. Like, I know this team. This is the thing. We can slander Amorim all we want, and we can say he was crap because he was crap. But at the end of the day, we know this team. We play a smaller team and the performances will drop. This is the problem. And this is the problem. Bring Harry Amas back at left back. I mean, look, I think let's see how he does at Norwich. But I think I'd like Harry Amas to get a Premier League loan next season. And then if he does well on his Premier League loan next season, we bring him in the season after. Carrick, unbeaten run to the end of the season. Man. Wow. How many games have Manchester United got left? Let's have a look. Man United have 15 games left, which means Carrick will manage 17 games as Man United manager. If Carrick gets 4 more wins from now if Carrick gets 4 wins from now to the end of the season, he will have a better win rate than Ruben Amorim. Carrick only needs to win 4 of the next 15 games to have a better win rate than Ruben Amorim. That's nuts. That's nuts that Carrick only has to win 4 of our next 15 games to have a better win rate than Ruben Amorim. I can't believe that stat's real. Carrick DNA says we win these games. He will know the mentality to go into it. Don't underestimate, but expect to win. We will beat Fulham. Let's hope so. One thing I liked that Carrick did one thing I like that Michael Carrick did was when Dorgu came off injured, we know Amorim would have thrown on Aiden Heaven. We know Amorim would have thrown on Aiden Heaven when Dorgu came off injured. He put on Sesko. I liked the attacking subs. He put on Sesko. He didn't put on Aiden Heaven. He put on Sesko when Dorgu came off injured. Amorim would have put on Aiden Heaven. We don't win that game under Amorim. Amorim had us celebrating a 1-0 loss to Arsenal because the performance was half decent. True. The performance was decent versus Arsenal. It was encouraging, but it's mad to think that we lost 1-0 to Arsenal first game of the season under Amorim, and we were all happy because it's half decent. Man United have looked the best they have in the last 13 months this last week. I agree to an extent. I think we had a good game versus Brighton and Bournemouth, but I think all-round performances, this is probably the best I've seen us since the FA Cup final, to be honest. Alice, could Carrick win the league? I very much doubt that. If we win every game, you never know, but we're not going to win every game. Do you like Le Mans? I like Le Mans. I'm happy with Le Mans. Not going to complain about Le Mans, am I? Mathematically, we can get 83 points. If we win every game between now and the end of the season, I will give £1,000 away on live stream. I'll give 5 people £200 each. And I'd be happy to do that if we won if we won every single game, because we won every single game. That's what I'll do, but I don't think we will. Listen, people, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. Because I've got a bit of a cough. I can barely speak today. I'm just going to see if anyone's live that we can redirect to. Anyone live? No. But big up everyone for tuning in. I will be back tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, tonight. See you then. Bye.